Hello guys, how's everybody doing? Long time no see, everyone. I miss you all so much. Let's hope some people come in live. I'm not doing any readings. Those were the days. Although I do feel differently about that now. I labeled this, words are powerful. Because they can be either like prayer or like spells. And it creates our reality. And I also want to express how we're going to change fear to free. So I looked up the definition of fear. Let's get comfy. All right, and I got two definitions. One's from the Webster Dictionary, and one's from, I guess they're both. One's from the Webster, and one's from the Merriam-Webster. Both online. So the Webster says that fear is an emotion induced by perceived danger or threat, which causes physiological changes and ultimately behavioral changes such as fleeing, hiding, or freezing from perceived traumatic events. So basically it's all and I'm telling everybody not to wear the mask. No, they're playing doctors. Basically we're not born with fear. It's all about our perception. So, and then the Merriam-Webster says that fear is an unpleasant, often strong emotion caused by an anticipation or awareness of danger. So, the only way you can be scared or have fear is if something is presented to you to make you perceive this as a danger or a threat, and then that in turn changes your reactions, like this CV, the coronavirus thing. People, I guess, fear this virus, so it changes their behavior. Now they go out with masks, stand 6 feet away, when in all, that's actions part of their spell. Just like words are spells, actions are words are the spells, and actions are like putting the spell in motion. So you speak the spell into existence, and once you start acting out that spell, then it becomes even more, I look at it as like you're putting, like here's the fire, and every time you like participate, you're putting like a log into the fire and making the fire bigger. So that's why during all this, we have to ask questions. We have to be open-minded, because there's a reason why we're feeling the way we feel, why we're being told these things. We should be questioning the things that we're told. Like I was saying, it's all part of the spell. So there's like initiation spells, and that's where the masks come in. They have like, in order to like first get in, you have to put like a mask on your face. So they put, when you wear this mask, it's like you're being, it's you being controlled or like under their power, in a sense. So, our vital response to this fear, any kind of fear, should be like to present to go with it with an open mind, like and actually ask questions and learn about what is bringing this fear, so that way we know that really we don't really have nothing to be afraid of. When we put fear there, then we take God away. And when we take God away, that's never good. So I say God's more powerful than anything. Now, if we keep God in the center, everything else should follow. We need to do God's will. So everything that I do now, I no longer do for me. It's like, okay, well, what would God want me to do? What would be the best thing to do? What's fair? What's just? What's honest and true? So I say, okay, this is what God wants me to do, so I'm gonna do it. And by that, that's God's will. So this is what God wants me to do. And we basically need to work together and break free from this spell. Because they knew that we were all getting close, we were coming together, everyone's holding hands, we're all united. So these spell makers knew that we're getting closer, so they had to create this, pandemic to break us apart, to separate us, to divide. That's why they put anything here to divide us. Like we have the racial issues of black and white, that's all created by them. I was reading this documentary about the mole children underneath New York City. I never knew that there was tunnels underneath New York City, that there was even like villages where Central Park was. It was like a village back in the day, where like the blacks and whites were like segregated. This was like a black city on top of Central Park. It was an actual city. And they found pictures where blacks and whites were actually married then. And like they try to tell us that it was all segregated, that blacks were always against the whites, and I forget what they were. They were like diggers, like artifact finders, and they found all these artifacts stating, that it wasn't always, black versus whites, that there were actually blacks and whites that married even back then. That this is just the illusion that they want us to know, so that they keep us divided. Same thing with religion. That's why all these religions, the Christians versus the Muslims, and everything, they want us to separate, to divide. Because if we're divided, then they win. That's why it's very important to overcome fear, so that way we could be free as humans. They don't want us to be free. They want to control us. That's their main goal, is so that way. I went into the store today and the lady said, you know what they're doing? She was almost in tears. She said in California now they have these mobile sites that people actually go up mobile and check to see if you have the coronavirus, and if you pass the test, then you're good. If not, then they take your kids and they put your kids in foster care and like all this stuff. And like if it's happening in California, it could happen here. So they are just pushing it a little bit too far, and it's got to stop. And it's all because of fear. If we Benjamin Franklin said that those who give up essential liberty for temporary safety deserve neither safety nor liberty. And I so agree with that. Because here in America is like the only free state. People come here to be free, the only free country. Everything else, like China, this is becoming China, like fascism. And that's exactly what it's coming to. And we don't want that. And the more we buy into their fear propaganda and all their lies, because the mainstream media is nothing but lies, the longer our country is out of work. There's over 20 million Americans that are not working now, that lost their jobs. So America needs to open, and it's all because of fear. But if we turn fear to free, then we should be free. Spread love, spread education. So if we hold God first, not let fear involved, and spread positive words, because all words are magic. So we have to be careful, because even people do it unknowingly. I was so afraid when I seen this coming from China, and I would see all these memes on Facebook about the Chinese virus and all that, and I was literally scared, oh no, it's coming here. And I seen the first page, because I even went on this site and was something really big's gonna happen. It's the disaster. The disaster's coming. The day of the disaster's coming. And I said that was gonna March 7th or the 10th, I said, and it was the 7th, because it was the 6th or the 7th that the first case in Pennsylvania came of the coronavirus, and it was in Montgomery County. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's an hour away. That was that Sunday night. And that Monday and Tuesday, I even kept my kids home from school, because I was like, oh no, the virus is here. I was so scared, because I was afraid. They were saying then that the kids could be carriers and bring it home, and if you have asthma and if you have this, then it was going to be worse. So I'm thinking, holy crap, my kids can't bring this home. I can't be susceptible to this, especially because of my asthma and my chronic pneumonia. I was so scared, so I even kept my kids home that first Monday and Tuesday. And then the kids' school called on Wednesday and was like, why are you keeping your kids home from school? And I said, well, I'm scared they're gonna get this virus. And Like, I'm really scared. So even my mom and their dad was like, you can't keep them home because you're afraid they're gonna get a virus. So like, I understand the fear. I was afraid. So then I was like, after a while of looking into it, I was like watching the numbers, watching all these deaths and seeing all this, and like all the numbers change, and then everything's changing, and then the models are changing, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, these numbers aren't adding up. Like, one person's dying every 3 minutes, and normally one person's dying every 3 minutes here. So I don't understand, how is this any different? How is there more people dying when normally there's this many people dying of this, and now, you know, this spring we haven't had nobody die of the flu or pneumonia or heart attack. Like, anybody who's dying now is died of COVID. Even if they didn't die of COVID, even they say with COVID, their underlying cause of death is from COVID. And they even went on, Dr. Birx went on and said that, and some other lady also went on live television and said that when you die from COVID, it's not actually you're dying from COVID, it's because you're dying with COVID, and they just label it COVID. They even had people sent in, they said, send in your testing. So they tested a human, a sheep, and a papaya or something else, and they came back with all tests. They came all back with the testing, and yes, the sheep tested positive for COVID, so did the papaya or whatever tested positive for COVID, and they're like, oh, what the heck, everything's testing positive for COVID. So now, Tata, you just came on, and I just was saying about how in California, if you get tested now, they can come in your house, test you for COVID, and if you have COVID, they have the right to take your kids away and put them in foster care until you're like COVID free and you deem like okay for you to be around your kids. Like, this is really happening. I went into a store and the lady was there and she was like beyond furious, like practically in tears, that this is really happening. If it happened there, like if it happened here, like shit's getting real. And we need to change this fear into free and know that these words that they're putting on us is just a spell, and that we can change by not even listening to the words. I don't even watch TV or anything anymore. I don't even give into their words, because I know that it's all a part of their game. It's a spell, and like I was saying, I broke free from that spell because I was watching the numbers. I was watching everything, and I seen, I can add 1 + 1. I know it does not equal 4, even though they're making 2 + 2 = 5 now. I know my math, and I was doing this, and I know that it wasn't right. That's why I was asking questions. What's up, Christy? Hey, what's up, Tracy? That's why I was asking all these questions, because I know that where fear is, that is just a perception. It's just our perception and the way we're viewing it. The way they're presenting it to us is how they want us to react to it. As long as we are open-minded and ask questions and know that this is not like the true agenda, and what their true agenda is behind all of this, that it goes way deeper than this, then we can change this fear into free and break free from their spell. Because not only, like I said, not only the words are a spell, but the actions are too. Like when I was finding God and all this, I learned a lot about the Bible and a lot about religion, and how like Christmas and Easter aren't even in the Bible. So that's man-made by these same men that rule the world. So when you, even I did it, not knowing, you can knowingly or unknowingly still participate in a spell, and even though you have no clue. But like I said earlier, it's like throwing fuel on the fire. Like, it keeps on getting bigger and bigger, and then what do you know, then you're just burning yourself. So that's why I try to like say, hey, you know, look, this, but it all ties. This all ties in together. Like, everything is connected. So as long as we stay connected and we keep holding hands and we keep staying together, then we can, you know, break free from the fear. So like I was saying about Christmas and Easter, when we go out shopping and we put everything that we do a part of this whole Christmas thing or the whole Easter thing, the whole baskets, and wake up in the morning, and that's a whole part of, it's a whole part of their spell, their ritual. Oh, it sounds so fun. It's all part of their agenda to get us into their, you know, their spell work, their thing. So when we celebrate and when we do these things, we unknowingly participate in their magic, and their magic is not good magic. It's like black magic. It's not good at all. It's not for positive. It's not for love. It's not for life. It's not for God. And I say you're either for God or you're not. It's for God or not. So that's why I say it's very important what we do and what we say. And hey, what's up? And that and what we participate in, that we ask questions and have an open mind, even if you don't agree, you know, as long as you ask questions about it. Like, there's nothing wrong with asking questions. Like, this lady came on, I forget, Heidi St. John or whatever. She's for the mom, the busy mom, and she was saying like the same thing, like, ask questions. And she was just questioning it, and these people were like bashing her for even questioning the fact, like, what if this isn't true, or, you know, and people were bashing her for it and saying, oh, she's a conspiracy theorist, and I never even heard that word until now. And you know, the CIA came up with that word when there was that whole Kennedy thing, and people were saying, like, this is why, and they're like, they didn't want the truth to come out, so they said, oh, it's a conspiracy. It's no, stay here. No, ma'am. So yeah, I just wanted to let us all know that we could break free from this fear and be free. That the masks and all that is all part of their ritual to take control. And the more we wear the mask and the more we indulge in their spell work, in their magic, the more it's going to be hard for us to break out of it. That's why we need to stand up now and break free from the fear. Love, and I'll come on again soon. Let me know if we have any questions. I love y'all.